Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is your latest news updates. Once again, a lot to get into today, including the latest on Bukayo Saka. He has just withdrawn from the England lineup due to injury. We'll be talking about that one. We'll also be talking about Arsenal's game today. Yes, we actually played a game today against QPR. We'll be talking about that one, and then the latest on two Real Sociedad players, not just one, but two Real Sociedad players, and also a new kit that has leaked for next season. Yes, we have a kit that has leaked for next season. I'd want your thoughts on that. And how do you feel it looks like? Do you like it or not? We'll be talking about that throughout the video. So let's start with Bukayo Saka. So Bukayo Saka was obviously picked for the England lineup, but he's just withdrawn from the lineup. So this is the news that has come out today from England. Bukayo Saka has left the England squad as a precaution. He will return to Arsenal. Listen, he probably isn't like completely injured. He's going to definitely play against Man City. But, you know, the way Man City do this a lot, over the last 2-3 years, I've seen Man City doing this a lot. When there's a Germany game, Gundogan is injured, he's not going to play. Haaland is injured, he's not going to play for Norway. De Bruyne is injured, he's not going to play for Belgium. And then after a week, they're all playing for Man City against Liverpool. Like, that is what Man City does a lot. Recently, we've seen a couple of Man United players pulling out of their teams. De Bruyne himself was pulled out out of the Belgian squad and headed back to Man City. Few years ago, not few years ago, but back in the Sir Alex era, there's a lot of Man United players who used to do that. Like if they have an important game against Liverpool in 2 weeks, like people pull out of the squad and they don't play. I'm happy that you're also doing that. Listen, I'm happy. I'm proud of these players playing for their country. Really, really happy whenever they get a chance to play for their country, whoever it is, Saka, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, whoever. I'm happy for you to play for your country. But, you know, we want our players to play the big matches, you know. You don't want someone like Saka to play these small friendly matches. You know, these small friendly matches, play Palmer, play those second team players, you know, play Cole Palmer, you know, play Bowen, play those guys, you know, those ones, play them in the small games. Even, listen, Saliba, you don't have to play for France, you know, let Konate play those friendly matches, you know, your backups, let your backup play those matches. Declan Rice, you don't have to play for that. Let Kobe Mainoo, let the kids play those games, those friendly matches. For us, we are waiting for the big competitions, the World Cups, the AFCONs, the Euros. That's when we want to play the games. And, you know, I am laughing. Bukayo Saka literally went to the squad. He promoted his source and disappeared. He was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm not coming to play. I was just coming to show you my new peri peri sauce, and you know, I'll see you guys with the Euros. I'm not gonna be here for these friendly matches against the small teams like Brazil and Belgium and all that. I don't want to play these games, big competitions, yes, but these small games, I don't want to play friendly matches." But yeah, if you didn't know, Bukayo Saka actually released this new peri peri sauce. I saw Nando's advertising it, and also if you want to try that peri peri Saka, it's called peri peri Saka. If you want to try it, I'm sure it's pretty good. And listen, he went there, promoted, and he's left the camp. Like, you've got to respect it, man. He was like, nah. So Bukayo, what is happening? Are we going to? Nah, bro, I'm not here. I'm actually just coming to promote this sauce and see you guys with the Euros. Absolutely respect that. And it's also been confirmed by Fabrizio. England confirmed Bukayo Saka left their camp as he returned to his club for continued rehabilitation on an injury he reported to St. George's Park with. So even if it's a knock and all that, usually players don't get like pull out of squads because they literally cannot walk now. Even if it's a slight knock and all that, you don't take risks. So Gabriel has not gone to Brazil, injured. Saka not gone to England again, injured. Jesus, injured. Martinelli, injured. You know, all these players for the international break, we have 20 plus injuries. None of them needs to play. If it's a game that has meaning, like I'm watching right now, Ukraine are playing, Zinchenko is playing a Euro qualifier, you can play absolutely no problem. If Declan Rice and all those other guys had qualifiers, absolutely no problem. But for the friendly matches, Bukayo Saka, you know, you can rest for the full week and then be ready for the Manchester City game. We have a busy period coming up. So I'm really, really happy that these players are getting a rest, like Saka and Jesus and all these guys. All the other players, the rest of the players who are, you know, Declan Rice and Havertz and Odegaard, the durable players, them, they can play. They're used to playing a lot of minutes without getting subbed off. But hopefully they don't play that much because especially those players, the likes of Rice and Saliba, we definitely need them for this one. But Saka will not be playing for England against Brazil and against Belgium as well. We leave the backups to play those games. We will be back for the Euros. Saka will be back for the Euros. When it's a big competition, absolutely no problem. So it's good. It's good that you're also getting that big team feel. We've always been a big team, but sometimes the way you operate in terms of transfers and international breaks and all that, we've never really operated like a big team. I'm happy that now we are operating like a big team, because all these other big teams, their players usually pull out to the international games, and then they only play big games and then they leave the small Arsenal players to play. Not anymore. But that's the latest on Bukayo Saka. He's not going to play for England. Happy that he's going to rest. Game. We played a game today. Saka was not involved in that one, as I said. We don't play those small games. We played today against QPR. And this was the result, and this is how it went down. Arsenal lost 4-0 to QPR. Oh, my goodness. We are finished. We are so finished. We lost 4-0. 4-0 to QPR in a behind closed doors friendly at Sober Reality Training Center today. Thomas Partey played 60 minutes. That's good. Takehiro Tomiyasu played 45 minutes and were the only first team players to feature in the match. So if you're wondering, oh my goodness, Arteta out, we just lost 4-0 to QPR. Nah, this was the squad that played. Relax. This was the squad that played. According to Charles Watts, we had Ejeheri, Nichols, Robinson. So far, be honest, how many of those players I've just mentioned, the first three of them, do you know? Foran, Tomiyasu, Partey, Lewis Kelly, Goha, Kozie Dubari, Butler Yedeji, and Kamara. And then from the bench, you had the likes of Kabi and Salo all coming on. That was the lineup today. So nothing to worry about. The main thing, we don't really care about the results. The main thing is that Tomiyasu played a few minutes in that game. He featured a bit in that game for half of the game. So that is great. We need them to pump up their fitness. Tomiyasu, we've really missed him. As we've always been saying, the reasons why we've had to play Ben White every single game, and the reasons why we've had to play Zinchenko in a game where we need to really defend, and that's not really his type of game, is because someone like Tomiyasu has been out. If he was there, Ben White would have rested for 4 or 5 more games, and Zinchenko maybe wouldn't have played against Liverpool, against Salah, and no one would have been talking about his defending, and have played the games that fits into the game well. And Thomas Partey as well, he also played in that match as well. He got more minutes, right? I think he got more minutes in that match, if I'm not wrong. Let me confirm that. How many? He played 60 minutes. Yeah, so Partey back in action for Arsenal, 60 minutes. Good run for him. Another player that we really need for the running. It allows in a couple of games, maybe it can allow even Declan Rice to rest for one game. It can allow Declan Rice to go off and Partey to come on. It can allow us to go to a double pivot with Partey and Rice both in the team. It can allow us to finally see Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. It can allow us in terms of a game where you just need a midfield and just to control for the last 15-20 minutes. You can have a midfield of Jorginho, Rice, and Partey, all three of them on the pitch at the same time, with Odegaard right in front of them, like a diamond-shaped formation. It's great. So great to see Tomiyasu and Partey back. Like as I said, don't worry about the result. No one cares about the result. The main thing is that these two players have played, and we really need them for the run-in against all the other teams that are coming up against Man City, Man United, Luton, Bayern Munich. We really need these players in the experience. And yeah, Tomiyasu, this comes of one day after Tomiyasu's contract was announced. And Partey, we have a lot of discussions to have, obviously, at the end of the season, but hopefully between now and May, he can help us get through the rest of the season. Next up, let's talk about Tierney. We haven't talked about Tierney in a long while. Paul Robinson has been speaking about Kieran Tierney. I don't know which Paul Robinson that is. I don't know if it's the former goalkeeper who used to play for Tottenham in England, but he was asked about Tierney, and this is what he had to say. Tierney is absolutely still Premier League quality. But if you look at the level that Arsenal have gone to, they've closed the gap quickly on Man City and Liverpool. Mikel Arteta clearly doesn't see Tierney as part of that progression, and he wants to bring in players that he feels can compete with City and Liverpool on a regular basis. So there's a second part of this. I'm going to bring it up, but let's go through this first part still. Tierney is Premier League quality. I do agree with that. Tierney is still Premier League quality. Can I see Tierney playing for West Ham? Absolutely. Can I see him playing for Newcastle? Absolutely. Can I see him playing for Man United? Yeah. Can I see him playing for, an Everton and all those other Premier League teams? Yes. Can I see him playing for Man City today? Maybe not. Can I see him playing for Liverpool today ahead of Robertson? Maybe not. Can I see him playing for Arsenal? Yes, but then again, no. As he has said, Tierney is not a bad player. He's never been a bad player. But if you look at the level that Arsenal have gone to, they've closed the gap on Man City and Liverpool. Listen, I was not happy when Tierney left. I wished we'd have kept both Zinchenko and Tierney and Timber and Tomias and all those guys. Over the last 5 years, I absolutely loved Aubameyang, but we had to move on. There's a time you're signing a contract and Arsenal fans were in tears, happiness tears, like that you're signing a new contract to Aubameyang, but eventually had to leave. We loved Alexis Sanchez, but eventually had to leave. Same with Ozil, eventually had to leave. Recently, players like Ramsdale, he'll have to leave, there's a time that will come that he'll have to leave, even though we really love him. It's going to get to a stage where Tierney will also have to leave. It could get to a stage where, listen, Tomiyasu could end up leaving, Odegaard could end up leaving. The club has to move on and the club has to progress. Right now, the squad that we had 3 years ago, I'm looking at that squad and I'm like, nah, no one can play in this team right now. Let's be honest. In this team right now, some of you would say Tierney will play ahead of Zinchenko. Fair enough. Will he play ahead of Tomiyasu? Will he play ahead of Timber if everyone is fit? It depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at 3 years ago and you just want a fullback who's going to go forward and bomb forward and do the job, Tierney will do the job for you. But if you're looking at the way Arsenal play these days in terms of pressing and controlling the game and defenders going into midfield and, Zinchenko going into the number 10 position and all that, I don't think Tierney fits in terms of that. I've had a lot of people saying, listen, he's better than Zinchenko, fair enough, but I've also had a lot of people saying in terms of the control and the passing and all that and the controlling of the game with the midfield, the Jorginho and all that, will Tierney be able to give those passes and all that and control all that, or will he prefer to just hoof the ball long? There's a difference. Arteta does not want a player like that. So he wants a player who's going to get into midfield and different style of play. And QPR, can argue in terms of the way QPR has been playing right now, Tierney can definitely play the same, but there's a part of me that also feels, yes, Arteta didn't really want any players from the Emre era and the Arteta era, the Wenger era. He wanted his own players, which is fair enough. Every manager wants his own players, and this is now an Arteta team. He's the one who signed Gabriel. He's the one who signed not Saliba, but he's the one who brought back Saliba at the moment. He's the one who signed Ben White. He's the one who signed David Raya. He's the one that signed Odegaard and Jesus and Zinchenko and all these guys. This is now his team. And the players who were previously under the Wenger era and the Emery era, we only have 3 or 4 remaining, and you can easily see El Neni leaving this summer. You can easily see Nketiah leaving this summer. I'd not be surprised if Nelson left this summer, and I'd not be surprised if players like Tierney left this summer, and that will probably bring the Xhaka left as well. So it's going to be a full Arteta team. And listen, we are progressing. So if we had gotten rid of Tierney and Lokong and then dropped down to 7, then we are really missing a left back and you're really missing a central midfielder, we'd have been complaining. But at the moment, Kivia's played well. I still don't have a problem with Zinchenko in terms of his defending is not the best, but in terms of him staying at Arsenal, I definitely still want him to play. I'm actually watching him right now. I want to see how he's doing in that midfield role in Ukraine. He plays for Ukraine in the midfield and he's the captain there as well. 28 minutes gone. I would still keep him. And if you bring Timber to the list and Tomiyasu add him to the list as well, you can't really see Tierney playing there. So unfortunately, yes, he's Premier League quality, but we might have to cash in on him. And that's just unfortunate. And the second part of the article goes on to say, if a player is allowed to go on loan, questions will be asked about their long-term future. Tierney's future is obviously away from Arsenal, but he's still a top player and he had a big impact at Arsenal, and there won't be any shortage of takers from Premier League clubs should he be available. Now, to know that I really feel like Tierney is a really good player, I would not like to sell him to a Liverpool or an Aston Villa or anything like that. No, because I know he can go there and be a really, really good player for them, the way they play and all that. So all the best to him. Let's see how the rest of the season goes for him. And that is not even really my main problem with Tierney. I still feel like he's a very good player, but in terms of fitting our system, maybe not. But my main problem with him is injuries. And yeah, the main reason we signed Zinchenko in the first place is because Tierney was getting injured. And if Tierney didn't get injured in 2021, 2022, we'd probably have qualified for the Champions League. So his injuries is a mess. And this one already, I think he's already picked up like 2 injuries already for, I've said already so many times there. He's played already, you know, gotten injured 2 times or something this season for Real Sociedad, and one of the injuries kept him out for 3-4 months. So the injuries are the problem. And yes, he do have injury-prone players, but then again, that's why you might see the likes of Partey ending up leaving. So you just never know. But that's the latest on Tierney. Let me know what you make about the Tierney situation. Would you still want to bring him back to the Arsenal team? Would you like to cash in on him, get the money for him, and use that money elsewhere? Let me know. Still love Tierney though. Tierney, Ramsey, all these guys, when they leave, I still love them for sure. Like, I'd still be, you know, following what they do and all that. Not like the previous years where players have left and I'm like, yeah, I never want to hear about them ever again. No, the likes of Tierney and Ramsey, I definitely have a lot of time for them. There's another Real Sociedad players. Hopefully, Tierney does not give a bad message to the other Real Sociedad player that we are linked to, Zubimendi. What's the latest on him? Arsenal have an interest in Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Mikel Arteta loves the midfielder and sees a bit of himself in the Spaniard. Zubimendi has a release clause of around 53 million. So are we going to end up paying that 53 million for him? I think he's worth it. I think he's a very good holding midfielder, and he allowed the likes of Declan Rice to push forward. And Zubimendi, I can't see us signing Zubimendi if Rice, Partey, and Jorginho are all here next season, because it's very hard to have 4 holding midfielders in the team, and 3 of them who are only going to play as holding midfielders. In, you know, Jorginho will only play as a holding midfielder. They can't play as a number 8 or number 10. Rice can. Partey has been played at right back, but none of us like that. So we can say it's strictly a midfielder. Maybe one other position, but you get what I mean. It would be so hard to fit in all of them in the team at the same time. So Zubimendi would be like a signing I think would make if El Neni and Partey both go, something like that. But I still want Zubimendi at Arsenal. If we can find a way to bring him, even if Partey ends up staying, that would be great, because we really need a player like this who's going to, you know, Jorginho is very good this season and since he joined, but he's not going to be here for too long. Partey and Jorginho are like in their 30s now, so they're not going to be here for too long. They're going to be leaving very, very soon. So that's the latest on Zubimendi from Graham Bailey. Lastly, let's talk about the kit. There's a kit that is leaked for next season, the 3rd Arsenal kit for next season. According to, I think it was the Gunners Way. Leaked images of Arsenal's 3rd kit for the 2024-2025 season is 80% accurate. So it's not guaranteed this is how it's going to look like, but it's usually 80% trust in terms of accuracy. So let me remove that. How do you feel like it looks like? What do you think of this 3rd kit? Now, the last couple of seasons, our 3rd kit, the greenish one from this season, I do like it. The pink one from last season was really good, but I think we only wore it like once during the season, which was crazy. The green one this season, I think we've won it against PSV and against Lens and Sevilla. We've won it 3 times in the not the away kit, the 3rd one. We've won it 3 times, I think, in the Champions League this season, so not that many times. But what do you guys think about this? And I mean, I actually do like it. I'm not strongly love it. It's either 3 options. Do you really love it, or do you feel like it's just okay, or you don't like it at all? For me, I feel like, you know, in between, it's just okay and love it. No, not completely love it. The black one from last season, that one I absolutely love it. That was a classic. This one from the 90s, I absolutely love it. This one I wouldn't say like I absolutely love it, but I do like it. I would definitely buy it in white. So let me know what you guys make of that kit. Out of 10, what would you rate it? Personally, I think I'd give it something like, in terms of a 3rd kit, I don't think is that bad. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Let me know. Do you think that is too harsh? But what would you guys give that kit? But what a video. We've talked about Sauce. We've talked about kits. We've talked about Tierney. We've talked about a game where we lost 4-0 to QPR. What is going on? What is going on? Like, so many different topics in this. But make sure to try this peri Saka. I've not tried it yet, but I'm sure it's pretty good. Make sure to hit the like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.